What's up, everybody? Welcome to Empowering My Field. I am Matt, paranormal consultant. I will be your co-host, host, whatever you want to freaking call me tonight. Tonight, I am joined by not just a good friend, but a brother of mine, Shadow. And you know, if he's here, two things have got to happen. Number one, there's got to be a disclaimer in the description, which there is, and the ticker's got to be going, especially with him and me. So, brother, how we doing tonight? How are you?
No, not too bad. You know, I'm always looking forward to walking by people standing under hornet net and throwing rocks at it and giggling as I keep on walking.
Yeah, you know, everybody, like I like to keep an airsoft pistol with me for that same reason. You know, just because my arm isn't what it used to be, so just a little 3, 2, 1, pop, 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 pop. Yep. Yay!
Yeah, because then you start watching people flailing and screaming and hollering, and you know, I mean, it's not my fault that shit looks funny. I mean, I didn't make it funny. I just enjoy it,
and it's great content too. You want to get famous on TikTok or YouTube? There you go.
Yeah, well, when it comes to TikTok or YouTube, I find that the easiest way to get famous and canceled is to say, I don't agree with a liberal.
Well,
boom, done. There you go.
Oddly enough.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a little bit later, folks. But either way, brother, it's been a while since you and I have just sat down and BS'd. There is going to be some adult language, folks. And I do want to say this is in the description too. Anything we talk about after what we're going to talk about first, but when we get into the conversation, is Shadow's and my opinion only. It does not reflect anybody or anything, any network, any person, any specific individual. It's just our thoughts. It is what it is. And you don't like it, don't care. That's why we're here. One of the reasons. But before we get going, I want to talk about a couple of things that are on a serious note and are very important to myself and our community. First and foremost, if you didn't see, I was joined on last Empowering My Field with a coworker and a good friend of mine. Her name's Josie, and she came on to talk about a little charity event that my work is holding for the month of July, and also later on, and that's Sheets for Kids. So what it basically is we're getting donations together to help local families and kids, and just help provide for them and help the lower income, and just give something back to the community, which in my opinion, and I think Shadow agrees with me on this one, that's another reason why we are here and why we do what we do. It's to help out, to, get a good rapport with these families and these people and their communities, and to show that we actually do, give a shit.
Right.
And I have made the announcement, and Josie didn't even know this, but I actually have in the description tonight and all the way through July the link for Buy Me a Coffee. Anything that is donated for that is going to Sheets for Kids. On top of that, I do have some new merch that has dropped. I'll show you guys that here in a little bit. Anything that comes out of that is also going to Sheets for Kids. And at the end of July, I'll let you guys know how much we've collected and kind of celebrate that, because that's what this is about. It's about, helping everybody out. It's not for me. It's not for any other reason, just to help out the community and help out these families. Because let's be honest, and I think you can agree with me too, brother. It's not the kid's fault. It's not.
No.
Not a kid's fault. It's not. Even sometimes it's not even the parents' fault. It's just the crappy hand that we have been dealt, which is another thing where we're going to be talking about. Yay.
Oh yeah.
But it's not their fault, and to me, that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be helping the communities out. We help them out with the paranormal stuff. We help them out with the afterlife. Let's help them out with the now. That's what it's here, and that's why I love doing what I do with the paranormal. Seeing us help these families really puts a perspective on what we do.
Right. And a lot of times when you're trying to help community, it's so easy to get riled up and get on a picket line or a protest. But how many of these people actually do something to help? And if you're not in any physical shape to help, or if you're nowhere near a location that that you could help, then little events like these that have links such as buy me a coffee or merch, small things that you can do from your home that can help somebody anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And some people say, well, I don't have that much. $1 helps. And if you don't know how to do that, anybody will be more than happy to help you. Anybody on Parapost Network will be more than happy to help you out. And you can just even send us a message. We'll be more than happy to guide you and help you or whatever. But either way, I just wanted to talk about that. And speaking of our communities, it was brought to my attention today that somebody, a good friend of ours, a brother of ours, is asking for help for his family. And I'm going to bring that up right now. Where is it? I swear I know what I'm doing, people. This is
allegedly.
Don't let it get out. But this is a GoFundMe for our brother AJ Capasso and his mom. Not going to get really into it. I will give you guys, I'll put the link in the description or in the comments right now. Nope, that's the wrong one. That's Global Ghost Hunt merch. Where did that go? There we go. See, copy and paste. We're doing it, people. We're doing it. There it is. But our brother AJ Capasso is asking for help for his family. So AJ is a brother of ours. So as a family, we're going to try to help out as much as we can as well. That link has just been sent on the GoFundMe side. So please, folks, if you can help. And I know you guys see the bigger, donations over on the side, which is awesome for these people doing that. I'm absolutely amazing. But even $1 will help. Anything helps. Right. These donations and these charities. So AJ, I hope that we are able to help you at least a little bit. I'm really trying. Okay, I'll bring that back down. And the one last thing I want to talk about before we continue on is I have some new merch out. I was gonna show it, but I'm not going to because it's gonna take too long. But I'll tell you what, Shadow's seen it. Shadow saw some of my new merch, and they're good. These are probably some of my favorites. I'll give you guys a little teaser. How about that? I won't do it too much. But this is a hoodie, by the way, folks, and it's hard to see. I don't know if I can make it any bigger or not. I think I just bought it. No, there we go.
That wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me either. This is just one of the many designs and new different things out that I have. This is obviously a hoodie. It's got a bunch of ghosts on it. It's got a pocket in the front, just like you'd expect a hoodie, and it's all over print, which I really like. It's not just the front. This is all over. I do have joggers that go with this too. I have a desk mat that goes with this. I have a backpack that has this design on it. I've got a bunch of different things that honestly I'm just super excited about. But definitely go check that out, guys, at paraconsultantstore.com. Link is in the description for that as well. And the one last thing I want to talk about our sponsor, which, and I say our sponsor because Shadow is actually sponsored by these people too, and that's Health Empowers You. On my one live, you guys saw me buy and actually purchase the smoothie recipes for Health Empowers You. And I'll tell you what, I tried one. I don't know if you have yet, but I tried one, and it was like the strawberry banana yogurt one. I was like, I guess that's pretty good. Well, I think I found a new favorite. I'm just going to start going down the list. But, folks, it is definitely worth it. Go to healthempowersyou.net and get it. There's some tea. There's going to be coffee soon. There's smoothies. Anything you want, check it out. It is really freaking good. And it's digital, so you don't have to wait. It's basically a recipe book. You're getting this recipe book for over 200 recipes for like $5. Where are you going to find that? Where? Seriously, I challenge you to find that. And
they're not just smoothies, though. I mean, these smoothies can help you with weight loss. They can help you with cognitive function, antioxidant, immune boosting. You know, since everybody kind of a little, you know, on the paranoid side after the last, you know, let's just say nasty little critter that sounds like a bad Chinese kung fu movie.
Where's my mask? Oh, you're talking about it.
But, you know, and any little help counts.
Yep. Absolutely. And this, the one I tried, the strawberry banana yogurt, it actually was for, if I'm not mistaken, kidney health. I did a gallbladder surgery, so that's something that I need. And I'll tell you what, I actually feel good. It tasted good, and I feel, I don't know, this isn't BS, guys. I'm being serious. I actually feel better. I feel like more centered. I feel like my body's actually getting back to where it should be. So definitely, guys, go check that out. And if you do, feel free to use my code. It is PC Paranormal Consultant 05, capital PC 05, and you get yourself a little bit of a discount. And Shadow, you go ahead and throw yours out too, brother.
Mine is TWS for that weird show. So TWS 05, and same as always, all caps.
Yep. So definitely, guys, go check out healthempowersyou.net, and a huge thank you to them for sponsoring this chaos, which is Health Empowers You. I almost did it again. Empowering my field. 2 minutes. There's so much empowerment going on. That's why I wore the shirt today.
Yeah, you might want to ease up on the other empowerment.
That's right. I'm not on CNN.
Yeah.
Anyway, but guys, either way, go check out healthempowersyou.net and check out all the links. Check out all the links that are in there. It's all for the positive and helping out our communities. So yes, please do. All right. So we have some guests hanging out in the audience tonight. We have Nicole here, another one of our Parapost family members. What's up, Nicole? How are you? Our brother Jonathan Myers from Crossover Paranormal Society. What is up? How are you tonight?
He's going to be one of the most chill, laid-back paranormal investigators I've ever met.
You know what's funny? We actually, as you know, we investigated the USS North Carolina. He's not any different. He is exactly the same. Like, even during the investigations, he's awesome. His dad, on the other hand, Pops, he gets into it. He gets into it, and it's great. I love Pops.
Well, the thing, what I love about Myers is that, you know, from what I've seen, if he gets an evidence, it's just like, is anybody here? Yes. All right. Well, we got a response. So
I've seen him freak out a couple of times, and I know there was
that's
one
a
on
rarity.
The bridge. Oh, there was one. He was on the bridge, this little like bridge or walk, whatever trail, and he got a good solid hit. And he's just, he starts cussing. What the fuck? And he starts going on. I didn't touch no, and he just bounces. I was like,
Yep.
But definitely go check out Jonathan Myers, guys, on Crossover Paranormal Society. Always a fun time with him. Always a fun time. So tonight we're going to do something a little different. And I think we have to. We're going to jump on the bandwagon, folks. And it's for multiple reasons. Number one, Shadow and I, as most of you know, love to see that hornet's nest shake and vibrate and blow apart. And typically we're behind it.
Yeah.
So I think we're just going to jump right into it. Let's go with the most recent circus escapade that we here in America just dealt with. And that's the presidential, and I'm going to use that term very loosely, debate. Let's start with that.
Gosh, that was so painful.
You know, I'm going to first start off by saying, like, I am a registered Republican, but I consider myself a common sensist. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican. I don't care as long as you make sense. Right. And to me, it's kind of like, you remember the South Park episode "Shit Sandwich and Giant Douche," where they were trying to figure out their school mascot. That's what I felt like I was watching. Granted, I will say Trump did keep himself very grounded, which I was impressed. I thought he was just going to come out and just go Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. I thought that's what I was about to see, but he kept himself.
Yeah, keep dreaming.
I want to see that. I would just love to see that. Just see him walk out on stage, go to shake Joe's hand, and just
slap
him. Just a Will Smith, like Chris Rock situation.
Yeah. And technically, that's not hitting. If Trump were to do that, we can easily say that's not hitting. All Trump did was high five his face.
Well, no, it's part of his official duty, so he's immune to it, remember? That'll come back and bite him in the ass real quick. But But no, I will say that on a positive, Trump made some good points. He kept himself very grounded. He was right on topic, right where he should have been. But what I really loved too was he spoke exactly what we were all thinking.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what he just said, and I don't know if he knows what he just said. That needs to be, first of all, that needs to be merch, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, I think the worst job for that debate would have been whoever's doing the captioning.
Oh, I know. Even AI is like, what the fuck is this guy saying here?
What is he on? We want.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, when Joe Biden first started talking, there was like a minute where he was like clear, lucid. Yes. You know, he was right there. And, you know, before that, my mom and I were talking, and my mom's like, oh, don't worry, they'll have them all juiced up on something. And she was right, because you could see that juice wear off real quick.
And what I find funny is I think we all agree about this, no matter if you watch CNN, Fox, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I think we all agree that the start, I wish would have stayed the entire time. Then we would have had an actual debate. What we saw was the Popeye syndrome, as I call it. You get the spinach right away, and then it just starts to slowly go downhill. But what I find hilarious is a lot of these news media outlets are saying the complete opposite. Even Kamala even said right after, he started off weak and ended strong. What were you watching?
Yeah.
Were you TiVoing this in reverse? Because
I have a suspicion that the reason why they legalized marijuana is so that people would just be too high to really pay attention and not notice the crazy shit that's going on.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that might be. Well, here in PA, it's still not open to the public. It's legal to an extent. It's kind of still, but I'm telling you, like, I think the Democratic Party, if they are going to go through with it, made the right move in saying that they want him to leave. Just step down, back away. No, it's like Robin Williams. No, Joe, down. But like, And my question to you, brother, is when's enough enough? And I'm not just talking about the economy. I'm not talking about jobs or the border. I'm talking about as a political party. If you're trying to promote something like you're trying to promote someone like Joe, when do you pull the plug, so to speak? Not literally Facebook, YouTube. I'm not talking literally, although my phone does need charged.
Yeah.
But when do you stop it? When do you where's this line?
Well, see, there used to be a line, but the problem is, I think,
Hunter snorted
ever
it.
since, yeah, well, either snorted it or they got it in the wrong socket.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah.
I couldn't resist.
But since Trump won that election the first time, the Democrat Party realized just how tenuous their grasp on power is, and once he became president, you see them behaving in ways, and you see all these blue states starting to make modifications to certain laws, which is their legal right. I mean, the Constitution gives them that right to do that. But when you start to modify the laws to prevent any opposition, then that's when you start to cross that line of going from a democratic republic to a totalitarian system.
Well,
and I think that's kind of what happened, and that's one of the reasons why if the whole, and I'm sure we'll talk about this later, but the whole mass immigration, the dismantling of legal system, more specifically police and any kind of law enforcement that could potentially pose a problem for the ruling elite. And you look at the judges. The judges, there are too many people saying the law is up for interpretation. There are some laws that you just don't need interpretation for. But like I said, we're seeing a slow dismantling, and yeah, we used to have a line to where if you started slipping, if you started to show signs of having any kind of lapse in cognitive functions, being able to to deal with other world leaders, because you got to remember, you're not just leading the United States, you are representing an entire nation on a global theater. And this is not an easy job. This is a very stressful job. And if you're not with it completely in your head, then you become a threat to the country. And that's pretty much where we're at. We have somebody like Joe Biden who, and I know we crack a lot of jokes on him, but in all honesty, what is happening to him is sad, and I wouldn't wish that on my enemy.
Absolutely.
But and the people in the party that are keeping it going, and those are the ones that have the biggest problem with it.
And I agree. I agree 110%. And for those of you who think I just did what I just did, yeah, I did. But no, I agree. Like, love them or hate them, Republican, Democrat, whatever. Let's be honest. They're all Americans. No matter good, bad, whatever, they're Americans. We're all we're all supposed to be on the same team. Do I wish any ill will towards Joe Biden? No, he's my commander in chief. As a military veteran, I don't care who's in office. They are my commander in chief, and if they ask me to take up arms, throw on my uniform, and run out there, guess what? I'm running. Sandals, flip flops, bare feet, don't matter. I'm going. I don't care.
Well, pants too, hopefully.
Maybe. Depends on where we're going. Florida or Middle East? Nah, they don't need them.
Yeah.
Just get sand in there anyway. But I don't wish any ill will, in all seriousness. Now, however, that being said, him falling up and down stairs and just going from weeble wobble to fall over, comically, I love it. I think it's great. I think it's also great that he's from literally a town or a city. It's a small city, no more than 45 minutes from me. You go there, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
He's just visiting. He came through here, Yeah. And, some of the things in the remarks that he makes, like, it's just like, what was his uncle? His uncle got eaten by cannibals.
Yep.
Come on. Are you kidding me? No, he went to me, especially where he was at. He went to a massage parlor for a happy ending and didn't leave. That's probably what happened. I don't know, but that's probably what happened. It's
Yeah.
just a story that they told him. Stuff like that. And like you said, these individuals who are running the country, especially the president, you are representing millions and millions of Americans. Some over here and some way over there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. They're still Americans. You have to have that certain attitude, that certain sense about you. And to be honest, that's why, and I'll say it out loud, I don't care. I voted for Trump these past 2 elections. I voted for him. Why?
Right.
Because that's what we need right now. We don't need a politician. We don't need a politician. We don't need somebody who has their hands in everybody else's pockets. We need a business, because that's what we're in right now. We need something we need someone in charge who knows business, who knows how to get out of any type of stressful situation. Somebody who understands that stress. Look at one of the greatest presidents that a lot of Americans will all agree that we have ever had, Ronald Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
He was an actor. So I'm not saying that, Trump's this generation's Reagan, but sure as hell wasn't hurting anything. He just was like us. Wasn't afraid to speak his mind. And I think that's what we need, especially when it comes to the other countries.
Yeah.
We need someone who doesn't have that filter.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to people and it comes to opinion, a lot of the issue is you can have an opinion, you can have, a belief. It's when you start to make it personal or emotional, then that's when everything gets muddy, and that's when tempers fly. And I got to kind of say that, like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I saw a video of a protest in New York on Pride Day, or one of the Pride days, and it was Free Palestine walking down the street one way, and the Pride Parade was walking down the same street the opposite way. And when they met, they were having a little, I don't know, one little yo mama standoff kind of thing. They're hurling insults at each other, trying to yell louder than the other. And the one thing that I kept looking at on the Free Palestine side is how many white people were in there. Now, here's my thing. If you really believe that Palestinians should have their land back, then why don't you give up all of your land and give it back to the Native Americans? Because the reality is this. If black people don't like what's going on in America, they can go back to Africa. If you and I don't like what's going on in America, we go back to wherever our ancestors came from. Same thing with the Asians. They go back to Asia, Middle East, go back to Middle East, all that. If the Native Americans don't like what's going on here, where the hell do they go?
Well, depending on which theory you follow. If I think we spoke about this. I spoke about this with Haley on GGH on air. At one point, apparently, our great, however far back ancestors, the landmass between Alaska and Russia was one. And I think you've seen this in theory too. And who's to say it wasn't as cold as what it is now? But they migrated from the Europes and the Asias and everything else, and they migrated over through Russia, Alaska, Canada, now into the Americas.
Right.
That it's so maybe they go that way. I don't know. Just jump on a bandwagon. I don't casinos. I don't know where they go, but maybe that's what we need. Maybe we just need to reset. Everyone just leave.
Yeah.
But the one thing that bothers me is we're talking about protest, and I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but you know what? I don't care. And I've said this since they started it, and that's the Black Lives Matter. And I'm not talking about just the organization. I'm talking these radicals. I think every life matters. Whether you're black, blue, orange, purple, green, whatever you are, your life matters. It doesn't matter to me what color you are. I've said ever since they started, when they start a Every Lives Matter rally, I'll be right there. Yep. I will buy merch. I will wear the wristbands and all that other bullshit. But you're absolutely right, though. These people that are going out there, and even with the Black Lives Matter, there's a lot of white people out there, which is good. It's good that you're supporting people. But what are you doing about it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of this talk, and sorry, college kids, it's mainly that generation. They sit there and they say, oh, I feel so strong on these values and this and that and this and that. So what are you doing about it? Oh, I'm protesting. And how's that working out for you? So you're standing somewhere getting sunburned, rained on, and you're extremely tired. Now, how is that helping?
But you're also physically assaulting somebody who has nothing to do with the thing you're angry about.
So how's that helping your cause? How's that going for you?
Yeah.
It's like these, I'm sorry, the vegans, these extreme vegans or whatever they're freaking called, attacking people for eating meat. I'll eat a cheeseburger right in front of you. I don't care. Why should that matter?
Well, no. I mean, okay, so Ron White says it best. The number one producer from an organic standpoint, the number one producer of CO2 gas is cows. Plants take that CO2 gas into a process of photosynthesis, convert it to oxygen. So who's the idiot here?
See, I always like telling these extreme vegans, I tell them flat out, hey, I'm eating what's a big threat to your food. Your grass and everything that you eat, the cows eat it. So I'm going to eat the cows so that way they don't save you some food.
Yeah. I'm helping you keep your food supply up.
There you go. Well, you know what? I just thought of something too. Maybe what we should just maybe what we should tell them is no. Listen. Cows are nothing but stuffed veggie burgers. They eat grass, so it stuffs them.
Yep. I'm a vegan because I support vegan-fed cows.
There you go. Although it would be kind of funny to watch a cow eat a steak or a burger. Mom,
well, oh God, I can't remember what show it was. But I was watching the show and somebody had a pet pig. Oh Jonathan. No! Okay, no. It was
Jonathan Myers or Cece, one of them.
My wife and I, we were actually talking about getting a potbelly pig. And she was like, if we get a potbelly pig, I'm going to name him Bacon Bit.
Yes, that's a good one. The Wicked Queen and I were talking about, mowing the yard and upkeep and stuff like that. I said, it'd be a lot cheaper just to get a goat. Get a goat or some sheep. And she's like, no, we're not getting a goat. I'm like, oh, peas.
Yeah.
So anyway, folks, so it's at that time. So we're going to take a quick commercial break to celebrate our Parapost family. We've got a new video promoting not just this show, but Shadow shows and everybody else's shows on Parapost Network. If you haven't heard about it, go check out Parapost Network Central on Facebook, or you can check out the app. You can find Parapost on Android, iPhone, doesn't matter. Sign up for free today. All you need is an email. And remember your password. I know that for a fact.
Yep.
And also go check out parapost.net. But yeah, we'll be back, folks, with more fun here in just a few moments. video. That is such a great video. Welcome back, everybody, to Empowering My Field. Again, my name is Matt, paranormal consultant. With me tonight is my brother Shadow, talking about some things. But I want to again give a shout out, guys, to Parapost Network Central. And again, like the video showed, if you have a show that you want to bring to the network, just ask. It's that easy. It is that easy. But definitely, guys, head on over to Parapost Network Central on Facebook and check out not just this show and Shadow show, but everyone's show. And because there's a lot of good ones, really good ones. And before we continue, did you take notice to something? I didn't notice it until literally just now, after all the times I've seen it, about crime documentaries. And yes, I'm picking on Mr. I'm picking on Mr. and let me put this up. Picking on Mr. and our brother AJ for a moment. Did you notice something about that thumbnail? AJ's shirt says "bad decisions."
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I think that's a little subjective.
I just noticed that. I was like, wait, oh my God, it does say that. For a crime documentary show, that thumbnail that says "bad decisions." Perfect. Absolutely perfect. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to Parapost Network Central. Obviously, Global Ghost Hunt. If you guys are interested in joining the Global Ghost Hunt, it's easy. Go to globalghosthunt.com, sign up your team, sign up your location. Doesn't matter. Do it. We have a limited amount of spots for the October event. I'm excited for it. As most of you know, Mr. Brian John Laverty and myself, we hang out backstage. We help host it. We do a bunch of different things. Haley is the host for the GGH On Air. A lot of work goes into it with all the admin staff, and I miss it. I miss all the fun and the craziness and the headaches and the long conversations with Mr. But sign up today, guys. Just head on over to globalghosthunt.com. Sign up your team. If you have a team, no location, sign up anyway. If you have a location and no team, sign up anyway. Because we will help you. We will help you find a team nearby. We prefer if you guys can do it kind of yourself, but we're here to help you. We're here to help you along the way if need be. But it's a lot of fun. And of course, again, I want to say thank you to Health Empowers You for sponsoring this show and a bunch of different shows like Shadow shows and mine and everything else. They're great people. Great people.
Allegedly.
So, well, the smoothies are good, so they can't be that bad. Because, at the end of the day,
oh, fuck, here we go.
I almost wore that shirt. I was thinking about it. But anyway, so we're here tonight. We're going to talk about some random stuff, maybe like politics, maybe some religion, stuff like that. It depends on how deep this rabbit hole goes. We may need a part 2. We were talking about protests. We were talking about the presidential debate. I've had a Joe Biden moment. We were talking about the president.
Well, when it comes to they're trying to make things work, I did find out that if you want to find out about anything, you talk to kids about UFOs, and the best way to get them to talk about UFOs is to grab them and sniff them. Just give them a good sniff. And kids love it when I sniff them because they all want to waste all time to tell anybody about Uncle Bo Biden.
41 minutes. I'm actually surprised. Oh, by the way, folks, Shadow sent me a message. And he had that voice as the message when I talked to him about, doing this show. I lost my shit. I was in tears. I was at work. You prick. I was at work. I can just imagine people, because I was just in the bathroom. I got your message. I was just washed my hands. I listened to it and I lost my shit. So all people heard was just me laughing coming from the bathroom. Oh, I don't know what the thoughts were, but but no, I want to talk about January. it seems to be a very big hot button. And I can't discuss it with anybody else but you, because I know you and I don't care.
Right.
So the first question I have for you, is Trump responsible in your mind?
Well, okay, so part of the issue is when it comes to January 6th, if you look at all the video evidence and, you know, if you look at all the video evidence and you look at the way people recorded things, and, you know, of course, this is something that didn't come out until much, much later after the J6 commission.
Mm-hmm.
There was no video evidence to nail down the fact that the people who were at the Capitol grounds on that day were not violent. They were not aggressive. The doors were open. There's video evidence of security guards letting people in and even telling them where to go in some cases. And then when, I can't remember, it's like about a year or so later, after January 6th, they start talking about analyzing all the video. And then it wouldn't be until Tucker Carlson, who got his hands on the data that showed the tens of thousands of hours that were either neglected or they didn't go through because they knew that would completely shut down the J6 argument. Now, there's also other video evidence of a guy who many believe, and whether this is true or not, this is always going to be something that's a contentious question. But there was a guy who was telling people to go to the Capitol and start a riot there. And the speculation is that he worked for the FBI. And there's some evidence to show that he has held some sort of job within the federal government. So you got all that together. So when people say January 6th is a result of Trump, I can't agree to that for two reasons. All the evidence says otherwise. And number two, no matter what, everybody has the right to decide for themselves. Because even if Trump has said, don't go there, and he had been recorded saying, to remain calm and be respectful. Mm-hmm. But even if he said, do not go, there's a good chance that still would have happened just because people were that pissed. People were that tired. People were that fed up with all the shit that was going on.
Well, I think we all were.
I think it's Trump's fault.
Well, two things. First, I completely agree with you when you say that Trump even said, he had even tweets. He had proof, printouts of time-stamped tweets saying, mm-hmm. Be respectful. Don't be disrespectful. Be polite. Be civil. Don't do this. Mm-hmm. Don't riot. He was basically saying, if you're doing it for me, don't riot. Props for that. To me, if you got proof like that, and some people may say, okay, well, how do you know he was the one who tweeted it? Come on. He's on as much as, these kids anymore with TikTok or Facebook. Yeah. He's always on Twitter or X, whatever it is now. So to me, kind of hard for me to sit there and say, well, no, he's the mastermind behind it. Bull. The other thing is, just like you said, they released video of security guards letting him in. Why were they letting him in? Because it was a tour. Mm-hmm. It was a big tour group, which if you've ever been to DC, they have them. They have them all the time. They have tour groups. I mean, the Wicked Queen and I were down there. Now, I know the area somewhat. Like, I'm not real familiar with it, but I've been down there enough times to where I'm comfortable with walking around there. And we were just walking around, and the amount of people in these tour groups was amazing. And you're not talking like a 20-party tour group. You're talking 100, 200 people. These tour guides have megaphones with them.
Mm-hmm.
And this day and age, people are volatile. Someone farts the wrong way, and it's a national crisis. So,
Oh no.
so to me, I think what might have happened is somebody got into a disagreement. The rumors of this chaos was floating around. Somebody got pissed. It was something stupid. They stepped on someone's toe or whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Caused an argument, and then immediately everybody thought, "Oh, time to riot. We're doing this."
Yep.
Or the other thing that I've heard this theory about was these individuals were staged. They were put there. They were put there by who else? The Democrats, because they were trying.
Yeah, there's actually a bit about one of the guys that they arrested who was supposed to have been a MAGA Republican. Turned out was actually a liberal Democrat, just posing as a MAGA Democrat, a MAGA Republican. You know, and here's the other thing about all that just kind of irritates me. We have people who were arrested in the Floyd riot that have been arrested. They've been booked, you know, whether they were charged or not. I think that's still kind of an up in the air thing, because that whole George Floyd riot here in Minneapolis was a complete disaster from a political, social, legal standpoint. It was just a clusterfuck. But they were arrested, might have been charged, and they were released. There are people right now that are still under incarceration or under investigation from the January 6th riot.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't tell me that this isn't politically motivated.
Well, and not just that, but you talk about the George Floyd, which, by the way, folks, I personally, if anybody cares about my opinion on that, what happened was terrible. It was bad. He probably shouldn't have died. Was it because of police brutality? I've seen police do that with people before. I think the situation in total on both sides could have been handled a lot differently, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, well, I mean, the only thing I will say about that is there was evidence that showed that there had been some contention between Officer Chauvin and George Floyd.
Yeah, didn't he arrest him a couple times for drugs or something like that?
Well, there was that, but I think there's an instance where they might have even worked together at a club or something.
Oh.
But there was something. There was bad blood between these two to begin with. So there is enough reason to, you know, at least push for a murder charge, because realistically, I don't care how big the George Floyd was, you have two officers on him. Each officer weighs about, maybe if they're in good shape, about 170. Then you got to think about all the crap that they're wearing: the flak vest, the belt, the everything.
It's at least 30 pounds easy.
Yeah, so you're talking about at least 200. So if you have two guys that are 200 pounds each on top of somebody, that's 400 pounds. What the hell did Chauvin need to be on his neck for? Well, and that's the big argument.
Well, see, to me, the only defense I will say is, with my background with grappling and stuff like that, you go for the neck whenever they try to spit. When they try to spit or bite or anything else. In that circumstance, he was, who knows what he would have done. What George Floyd would have done. He could have been spitting. He could have tried to bite. He could have tried everything. So to immobilize the neck area, shoulder neck area, made sense. Now, that being said, once he was detained and actually in cuffs, they should have got up. They should have gotten up. They should have gotten away. Or even better, there is a hold you can do that if you pull the arms straight up, that limits your rotation here. So he could have gotten up and done other damage away from people, like crowd control. He could have pushed everybody back. You know,
because once you push the arms up behind somebody like that, you're forcing them to keep leaning forward. And if they're on the ground, all that does is to keep their head on the ground.
Yep.
I've seen that move.
So, and let me tell you, it hurts, but it's not fatal. It's a pressure point, just like anything else. You put pressure on a certain part of the body, it immobilizes you. But we went on a little tangent, but whatever the fuck. Come on, it's my show. We should know this by now. But what I find interesting is, just like with some of the other political activists and riots and stuff that we've had in, America's past. There was people, January 6th, who was at the Floyd riots, who've been at other riots, who have been these stop oil and stop fracking and all this stuff. So you can't tell me that one person or these groups of people all believe the same thing and are dumb enough to go all over the country for the same thing over and over and over, especially just like with January 6th. They go to a Democrat rally, they go to a Republican rally. You can't play both sides.
Yeah.
So to me, there has to be some kind of motivation there. So are they planted? Probably. And these people that aren't incarcerated anymore.
Yeah.
Why aren't they?
One name. Soros.
Yep.
This guy has some of the deepest pocket when it comes to political influence. And he's not a politician. He's just a rich guy who basically has some of the biggest key players in his pocket because he funded them, which is one of the biggest problems that I see in politics today. And I didn't vote for Trump in either election because to me, he comes off as that college frat house bully who knows the guy who knows the guy. I mean, that's just me.
That's what I like about him. Not to cut you off, brother. Nope. Sonia, you jumped in on an interesting one. So Shadow and I are known for a couple of things in the Parapost community. And one of them is our favorite, and that's stirring the pot and shaking up the hornet's nest a little bit with just some truth, just some hanging out, BSing, that stuff that we feel strongly about, or we just have an opinion about that we just want to share with everybody. But like the description says, it doesn't represent anybody else but us. This is just a little behind the scenes, I guess you could call it that, because this is what we do.
Yeah.
So if you don't like your feelings getting hurt or you take stuff personal, probably not the show. Just saying. But welcome either way, Sonia.
And don't forget, after we're done sniffing kids, we might go for ice cream.
Wait, say what now? How you get the back end. Every time I hear about going for ice cream, I think of the movie The Ringer. And that one kid, when the fuck did we get ice cream? I can never relate to a movie character, as much as him in my life. Because that's how I would react. That is exactly if the Wicked Queen would come home and say, "Oh, we had a great day. We did this, we did that. We went out for ice cream. What the fuck did we get ice cream?"
Yeah. Well, do you ever watch that 70s show?
Of course.
That one scene when Hyde was working for his dad, and it was like in the first couple of days, and he sit down in the circle and he's so high, and he's like, "Which one of you put this tie on me?" I've had moments like that. I've gone digging through my pockets. I'm like, well, when the hell did I buy this shit?
Okay. Another tangent. By the way, Sonia, I hope I'm saying your name right. If I'm not, I apologize. I can't read. But that actually tangents are a big thing around here, Sonia, so buckle up. That actually reminds me of what happened to me at work the other day. And so for those of you who don't know, I work for a convenience/gas station called Sheetz. It is here in the East, and great place. Again, we are doing donations. If you don't want to learn more, start in front of the video. Spoke about it in the beginning. I was putting away truck, and for those of you who don't understand, we get stuff from a big truck, gets put in the store, and we put it away. I was putting stuff away, and it's some kind of canyon, like I forget the name of it, but it begins with an R. But it's anyway. It's our curly fries. It's from some kind of canyon. Anyway, I swore up and down that the box said roasted crayons. I was convinced it said roasted crayons. I was that tired. I could not find where the roasted crayons went. I actually asked somebody. I said, "Hey, where did the roasted crayons go?" They're like, "What?" They're like, "Are you a Marine?"
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I went back, read the box. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's not what it says." But yeah, so now it's a joke. I'm saying it exactly right, Sonia. Awesome. JC, what's up? I haven't seen you in a while. How you been? Happy 4th to you as well. Welcome back. Missed you. JC, you're in for a good one. But
Yep.
you know, going back to the ice cream, because you got the fat kid on food. One of my favorite TikToks, and I think another job of the American president is to be a good comic relief. Bush had it. Clinton had it. Hell, I wanted Hillary to get elected just so I could call Bill the first lady. You know, Trump had his. Biden's ice cream truck one is my favorite. My absolute favorite. I think he's in like Philly or some kind of inner city. And somebody photoshopped in this ice cream truck that drives behind him. And he just, it just turns and just walks off the street. I was like, yay.
Well, you know, every time Joe starts talking, all I can think of is something like this. Flight 407 Ghost Rider requesting flyby, request denied, even that one clipped the midget in the knees.
Sadly, I understood that. JC, been busy with my mom. We found out she has heart murmur. Prayers. Can we get some love and some prayers in the chat for JC and their mom, please? Please. She'll be in my thoughts and prayers, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Keep me updated, JC, please, on how she's doing. Hopefully they get everything figured out and sorted. But you know, it's funny. When he first got elected, his demeanor, his everything was good. He cognitive ability, you know, that's what he needs. He needs some health and power shakes. That's what he needs. Mm-hmm. Shameless plug, yay. But they're not shameless. I'm happy with. I love people over at Health and Power Shoe. You could understand him. It was fine, great. I think what happened was they lost his ventriloquist.
Yeah.
They need to hire Jeff Dunham, because I said this. I think I even said this to you. Jeff Dunham is not the greatest ventriloquist. And by the way, I've seen him several times, even at my elementary school. When I was growing up, he came to my elementary school here in my own little town, where he just had Peanut at the time. But he's not the best. He's not the best ventriloquist. The Democratic Party is the best ventriloquist. Oh, yeah. That's the biggest puppet you'll ever see.
Oh, yeah.
But their ventriloquist must have had a seizure or something. I don't know what happened, because the puppet just...
Either that or he quit.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Pretty much.
She turned 81 this year. Aw. No problem, brother. No problem. But yeah, I just... To me, enough's enough. Enough is absolutely enough. I mean, with everything else going on in our economy, in the world, with everything else, come on, let's get some stability, please. I mean, I don't care who it is, whether it's Trump, whether I'm kind of iffy on the Kamala thing because she's still delusional.
If there was ever a cookbook for word salad, she would be the best seller.
She'd be the Gordon Ramsay.
No shit. I mean,
same
we
language
need
too.
to assess the situation before we examine the situation, so we know how to get control of the situation. That is the situation. Shut up.
See, this is why I can't do this without him being here. you know, what really bothers me about that whole thing is if you really go back and listen and watch and everything else, the debate from a neutral standpoint, Joe wasn't there.
No.
Joe was wherever he was, in an ice cream truck somewhere, or he was at a daycare. I don't know.
A pool, having black kid rub their hair on his leg.
Yeah,
I mean, gosh.
I wasn't gonna go there, but because even the kid, even during that interview, you saw the kids going,
yeah,
no, but he wasn't there. Kamala and Jill both said he did a great job. He answered all the questions. What questions? Did you take some of his medicine?
Yeah, and even when they were talking about golf, which I'm not sure Joe had ever really played golf. I mean, you're probably thinking about lily putt or mini golf or something, but I mean, crap, he can. Anytime Joe talks, I kind of get this impression.
I've got more IQ than two Matt combined.
What I found funny was when he said he could beat Trump at golf.
Oh my God.
There was two things wrong with that statement. Number one, you're at a presidential debate talking about golf.
Mm-hmm.
Problem number one.
Yep.
Problem number two, Joe doesn't have a handicap. He is handicapped.
Yeah.
He can't even ride a bike.
No.
He can't even sit on a bike. He fell over standing still.
That's just it. I could understand if he maybe fell by clamping on the front brake too hard, because I have a friend who does that all the freaking time.
Yep.
But yeah, when the bike stopped and he stands up still, I mean, was it the wind? Did he fart? I mean, did somebody sneeze? Something knocked his sorry ass over.
Mm-hmm. If it was the Secret Service, you just don't see it. You just see a foot just kick him.
Yeah, I mean, even Secret Service is like, this shit can't be happening.
Well, it's just like every time he falls up the stairs or gets lost, or when he fell at the Air Force Academy, he fell right there on stage. You could see it in all the Secret Service's face, like, oh God, not again.
Yeah, yeah. And I will say this: the whole stunt with him falling up the stairs just goes to prove that there is such a thing as anti-gravitational technology, because I've never seen anybody fall up a stairs.
I have some behind the scenes.
Well,
I have some behind the scenes footage. I've done it.
Yeah, well, there you go. Anti-gravity technology does exist.
Oh, some fun ones. Some fun things that are going on right now, JC. So Shadow and I, we're just kind of hanging out, talking about some recent events. We'll just put it nicely, and we're just speaking some feelings. He doesn't answer the question. He has no, yeah, right? See, Sonia, the problem is if he wants to answer a question, he's got to know what the question is first.
Yeah.
And then understand the English language enough to comprehend what's going on. See, I can't remember who it is, but there's a gentleman who, I believe it was the Democratic Party, who just started going off. It was, I don't want to be insensitive, but he was an ethnic gentleman. I don't know whether he was Hindu descent or I don't know what descent he was, but he was just going off. And he said flat out, he goes, it's time for a change. It's time for people to actually own up. Like one thing that I've always agreed upon is we need to have a limitation on the House of Representatives and the Senate.
Yep.
We have to. When these people were in office, like just sworn into office, when Lincoln was alive, there's a problem.
Yeah.
There is a problem. It's not till death do you part. I say it should be just like the presidency. You get 2 4 years. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Rotate out. You know, one of the things I've heard on CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, TikTok, Facebook, all over, all the news people are saying that the next generation, like not our generation, the generation behind us, aren't interested in politics. Well, no shit. Look at what they have as an example. They want to see what the House of Representatives or the Senate's like. Go to a nursing home.
Yep.
It'll be more entertaining. At least when they say they shit their pants at the nursing home, you kind of expect that. You know, it doesn't make public news, but put some limitations on these people.
Yeah.
You want to talk about cognitive abilities. Some of these people still think segregation's a thing.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, I'm sorry, but whether you're Trump, Biden, whoever, 70 years old to me is too old to be a president.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what your mindset is. 50s, 40s, 60s, maybe. You know, like, from what I understand, the Founding Fathers wanted people like us to run the country. We get voted by our common peers, by the blue-collar, hardworking people, true blue blood Americans. We are supposed to be running this country.
Yeah.
We are the minority in many ways, and one of it is control of our country. And if you don't believe me, here's where you cannot say I'm wrong. When Obama was elected this last time, they called the election. West Coast didn't even open.
Mm-hmm.
The West Coast, hear me out, the West Coast, California, all that, never opened their polls yet. So how did he win? So you're telling me that the millions of people in California don't get a vote? Millions of people in Oregon, Washington, Alaska, Hawaii, they don't get a vote? Not to mention the absentee ballots. Because if you remember around that time, it was Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
So there's thousands of soldiers across the sea. They don't get a vote. They don't get counted. And you're calling it the election already?
Yeah.
Bullshit. We don't have a say. It's whoever pays the most wins. It's a pay to play.
Which is one of the things that pissed people off so much about Trump, specifically in the government, the fact that Trump never took a billionaire donation. He never accepted any type of lobby funding or, work with any kind of lobbying group that would end up, putting him in their pockets. Everything he did, he kept it on the straight and narrow. And I'm not saying that he was ethical. I'm just saying everything he did was on the straight and narrow when it came to the campaign.
Well, he didn't even accept the salary.
Yep.
He didn't even want it.
Yeah, and so the idea is simple. Any elected official, whether you're talking senator, Republican, president, even down to the city level, anytime you have a quote-unquote elected official, you are hired to fulfill a position to serve the people, not the other way around.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the issue is, because now, I mean, if you look at California, if you look at New York, if you look at any other blue city that is also a sanctuary city, if you actually point them out on the map, and then you go back and you look at the blossoming of the COVID virus, every hotspot was on a Democrat-controlled sanctuary city. Mm-hmm. There were a few that were kind of, outside in some Republican areas. But yeah, all the biggest spots were Democrat-controlled sanctuary cities. Mm-hmm. And when you have that, there are two things that's going on with this. Number one is you're actually instigating a viral outbreak that's just terrifying and amazing at the same time because of how fast it all happened. But there is a video that I posted on my page not too long ago about a guy who actually went down to the border cities and investigated the immigration problem. And he said that they're letting immigrants in with some paperwork that's not even really gone through. They just let them in with paperwork. They send them off to a terminal and they ship them out to all these sanctuary cities every hour on the hour. And every one of them, when you talk to them, they all say they support Biden.
I wonder why.
There is a scary possibility that what we're seeing is the great replacement. And in other words, they're trying to control the voter base. If they can get more Democrat voters in, it doesn't matter if they're registered, it doesn't matter if they're legal citizens, if they can just get them in and voting, then everything's going to work fine. I mean, look at the last election. Biden had over 81 million votes. How in the world is that possible? Because if Trump got vote too, and then Biden had vote, and you take up all the number of legally registered voters, it still doesn't add up to what Joe Biden was talking about.
Well, and that's what Trump was saying. That's why he wanted all those recounts. And it's not just a matter of, one for him, one for, but no, he wanted an actual investigation on who these people are voting. Because as most of you should know, when you vote, you have to register. You have to show your registration card. And on that, you have to have your ID with it. You have to prove you are who you are. And if these people are coming in illegally, guess what they're not going to have? A state-issued ID.
No, at least not by a large part, but there are a couple of states, California being one of them, where they're actually issuing driver's license without having to be a U.S. citizen.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to find those in I think it's a box of Cheerios or something, a frosted flakes.
Yeah.
So I've driven out there. I lived out in San Diego for 9 years.
But,
we all think New Jersey drivers are bad here in PA. Sorry, San Diego. I love beautiful city. Great place. Y'all driving sucks.
Yeah.
You'd be better off with bumper cars. It's like Mario Kart out there.
But on the subject of immigration, I do feel that there's something that we should probably kind of clear up, because anytime somebody talked about illegal immigration, the first thing that we get called is racist.
Yeah.
There's a big problem with that. Number one, the two words illegal and immigration or immigrant, they are not racist at all. Illegal is a legal status as to whether or not somebody has the legal right to be in the United States or recognized as a U.S. citizen. Immigrant is not race specific.
Yep.
So when I say I am against illegal immigration, I don't give a rat's ass if they're from Mexico. I don't care if they're from Europe. I don't care if they're from Canada. I don't care if they're from freaking Australia, wherever. If you come into the United States illegally, I have a problem with that.
Same. Well, it's just like, let's do a role reversal here. If you and I were to just walk across the Canadian border, they would have a problem with that. Let alone set up a tent and a housing and a settlement. They would be, they'd be a little upset about that. So why aren't we?
And not only that, but I mean, if you look at any other country, if you go into a country and you become a citizen, you have to learn their language.
Oh, don't even get me started on that shit.
Believe me, I got that. Okay.
I work with the public.
Well, so do I. I mean, okay, I don't have a problem with fusion food, but I kind of come up with a theory on that. Number one, the reason why fusion food does so well out in California is because everybody is so freaking high that the munchies is beyond control, so anything sounds good to them.
I will say on that, on the tangent here, the California burrito, carne asada with French fries, fucking amazing. I'm just going to say that right now.
But here's the thing. When you go into a Mexican restaurant that's staffed entirely by Asian, oh, welcome to a Mexican restaurant. Everything authentic. And you take a bite into a burrito and you're like, oh, when do they put soy sauce in burritos?
Actually, that's pretty good, by the way. Been there, done that. Seriously.
And you still smoke or have you quit? I mean, I'm kind of wondering if you think that's good.
Anyway. No, seafood burrito with some soy sauce. Just saying. Let's jump to the comments real quick. We're having so much fun with this. I love it. Sonia says, you're right. We have to have confidence in our leader, of course. Brandon has never been a leader. You know what? I think it's funny, too, that he actually thought the Let's Go Brandon thing was about a guy named Brandon. It was all over social media, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere, about what Let's Go Brandon is. He still is like, I want to meet this Brandon guy. Huh? Look in the mirror.
Yeah.
But let's see. I'm about to make delicious. Oh, Sonia, you're the fat kid here. No, don't talk about food. Don't talk about food. Mr. Fedora. The
If you're
fedora
going to
will.
talk about food, we're going to start talking about ice cream here because there's nothing better than ice cream.
I need to find a soundboard and get like an ice cream truck button,
Ding ding. Hey.
just the jingle. Oh,
Can you imagine doing the ice cream jingle of Kyle Dunnigan Fresh Prez?
I never did before, but now I'm intrigued. So Fedora, this is what we've got going on. What's up, brother?
First off, we're sorry. Well, maybe.
Yeah, Fedora knows by now. Administration says, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I have a problem with Papa John's, but I don't think we'll talk about politics, religion, but when it comes to food chains, I think that's the limit right there. That's a line we will not cross. So do I. There's one in State College that is really fucking good. The Penn State Creamery. Oh, forget about it. But I forgot where we were. But no, like here's the okay. So we're talking about illegals and everything else. And so one thing you said too is learn the language. I will say for a fact, when I went to Guatemala, I learned some Spanish. Living in San Diego, I had to learn some Spanish, but I learned some Spanish just so we could interact with locals, we can talk to people, we can be a part of their custom and their culture. When I went to Thailand, I learned Thai a little bit. I learned enough Thai to general idea, like where do I go? How do I get here? How do I get there? Where's the bathroom? Food, stuff like that. Happy ending. No, maybe. But by the way, if you ever go to Thailand, get a soapy. Soapy good. Soapy really good. Not what you think. Kind of what you think, but not exactly what you think. But no, I learned Thai because that was out of respect. It's not a matter of just because you want to learn the language or because you have to. It's a respect thing. If you go to another country, learn a little bit of the language.
Yeah.
Do not expect them to know English. There are some countries that do speak English. They speak it very well, but that's not their native tongue.
Right.
Like Japan, for example. Japan's a big one. A lot of people know English there. They deserve to have English as a second language in schools. Here in the U.S., no. I'm sorry. Like it or hate me, I don't care. If you're living in this country, English should be a first language. If you need help, like if you legally come over, like from India or wherever, and you need help with the language, by all means.
Right.
We should be there to help. That should be part of the immigration process. I'm not saying it shouldn't be up to the schools. It should be up to the immigration process. You need to know how to speak enough English to get by. Especially if you're going to own, this is one that really pisses me off. The ones that own stores or own a business. You are expecting Americans to come into your store to do business, to provide for your family, and you don't speak English. Shut down. Buy some fucking Hooked on Phonics. Sorry, not sorry. But that's the way it is. If I go to Thailand and I buy a piece of property and I open a store, I'm going to learn Thai. I am going to learn enough to where I can interact with my clientele. I can make the business run and function. I'm not going to sit there and say, you need to come in and speak English, because they will probably do a lot of bad, nasty things to me. But just saying. But oh wait, here we go, Sonia. Yeah, it's a respect thing. I know a little bit. I don't remember a lot, but I know how to say hello for male and female, because that's something, believe it or not, that I don't know if you knew this, but to say hello to a male is completely different than how you say it to a female. Yep. It's weird. It is so weird. there's a Chinese takeout in my small town that do not speak any English. They treat the customers so rudely. Yeah, absolutely. And actually, what's really funny about this statement right here is, like I said, I live in San Diego, so I know a little bit of Spanish. Wicked Queen will attest to this. It is the funniest shit in the world when you get these Hispanic people that come in speaking Spanish and they start talking shit, and they don't think anybody around speaks Spanish.
Yep.
And then Gringo here walks up. Hey, ¿qué pasó? ¿Cómo está, mi amigo? Bien? ¿Y tú? ¿Y tú?
Mm-hmm.
The look on their face, it's like they have the Biden look. Just
yeah.
And I'll tell you what, they learn English very quickly.
Well, I actually worked at a greenhouse that was heavily staffed by Mexicans, and one day I was sitting down for lunch. I didn't bring much with me, and there was a couple of teenagers that thought, let's fuck with the gringo, and a family. And this, I will say this about the Mexican. Mexican can be very community focused.
Oh, absolutely.
And when they saw that I didn't bring my lunch, which for me, I didn't bring it on purpose because I wasn't much of an eater back then. But they offered me all the ingredients from their collection to make a burrito.
Yep.
And I made a burrito, and these two young Mexicans handed me habaneros. And they were thinking, oh, yeah, we're going to mess around watching me eat this. So I bit the end off of that, squeezed the juice out, and then ate the habanero raw as I bit into the burrito, and I stared at them the whole time. They never messed with me again.
Mm-hmm. See, and I'm just going to say this because you guys heard me get fired up about like the Hispanics and Spanish. They're beautiful people. Mm-hmm. I love them. I think they're fiery, they're feisty, they're fun. They know how to party.
No, it's not that they know how to party. They don't know when to stop.
True. And I'm all for any ethnic culture that takes a nap 2 or 3 times a day. Sign me up. Hell yeah. But no, like they're absolutely loving people. You're 100% right. Like the Hispanic families that I met out in San Diego, as soon as I met the family, like we came over for dinner the one time, this was my paranormal team. We went over, mom, grandma, everybody, they made sure of 2 things. 1, we were happy, and 2, we were full.
Yeah.
They fed us, and they fed us good. And then Dad came in and he got us drunk. But the fact is they were very open, very loving, and they were very respectful. As long as you respect them, they'll respect you. Now, just like with whites and all the other ethnic areas, there are some exceptions to that rule. You do have idiots.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just saying, as a whole, these races and these people are great people. Like there's a Hindu family that owns literally like all the gas stations in my hometown, but they're great people, very friendly. They speak English very well. They know it, kind of. They know enough.
Yeah.
And they're good people. What I'm talking about and what Shadow's talking about are these ignorant fucks that come in and just assume that we're going to cater to them. Nah, we were here first, baby.
Yeah.
Well, second.
Yeah. But and in that, on that immigration thread right there, even though I do take a very specific anti-immigration position on a lot of that stuff, the one thing I also tell people is that I also believe that the immigration process does need an overhaul because it hasn't really changed much for a long time.
Yes.
And the one argument I hear people say, well, we want all the good people to come in. And while I support that, but look at some of the places these people are coming from. They're not given the opportunities to, how do they know where they're going to be able to fit in? And then if they don't know, then how can we tell how they're going to help society? So I believe the immigration process does need a major overhaul.
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of our government-funded facilities need an overhaul.
Mm.
They need to, just like the state welfare stuff.
Welfare,
unemployment, food stamps, stuff like that. That needs an overhaul too. Mandatory drug screenings. You have to. It has to be stricter. It has to be specific guidelines. And here's the thing, and I've heard this before, and I completely agree with it. Just like with everything else, times change. So when times change, we need to change our thought process. We need to change how we do business. That's just growth. That's just what happens. Which is why I was saying earlier, any of these state representatives, the people in the House and the Senate, they need to be restricted on limitations on how long they can serve, because their mindset is back in the 40s and 50s. You know, a lot of these people were around for World War II.
A lot of these people were in their 40s and 50s during the 40s and 50s.
Mm-hmm. They do not need to be running our country. They don't. They have. I am grateful for what they've done or haven't done or whatever. They did what they were supposed to do, I guess. I don't know. But it's time. It's time to evolve. It's time to bring in some younger people. And the one thing that's really bothered me about whether it's presidential, state level, city level, get people in there that know how to work a 9-to-5 job, who knows what it's like to live paycheck to next day. I'm not even to next paycheck. When we were growing up, $40,000 was the year. That is the mark that you set for. If you had a $40,000 a year job, you were doing great. Now, if you're making $40,000, you need to be on food stamps and other state-funded benefits. You know, you need to find people in who know the struggles that all of us are going through, and even better. And somebody said this before: put them at that salary. Watch how quickly shit changes when a state representative gets paid $43,000 a year.
Oh, I wouldn't even give them a salary. I would just put them on an hourly rate.
Minimum wage. Watch how quickly that will fucking rise.
Yep. Yeah.
But
you want to get to DC in a nice car? Put in some overtime.
Call an Uber.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like, put them in. And that's why I voted for Trump. That's why I like Trump, because he's not a politician. He's a businessman. He knows how to run a business, whether you like him or hate him. I'm sorry, but as somebody who has that many bankruptcies and still is worth billions of dollars, he's not stupid. He's smart. That's what we need right now. We need the lesser of two evils.
The other aspect of Trump, though, is that he's a risk taker. He, as a businessman, as anybody who's in a business, whether you're in a private home-based unit, or if you have a small store somewhere, or if you're a part of a franchise, whatever, every person who has a business understands that every decision you make is a risk, because you can't always guarantee the outcome, and you can't always see the outcome.
Yeah.
But if you are ever going to grow as a single business or a corporate entity, you take risk, and that's what Trump does, and that's why he's able to come back after 6 bankruptcies.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I see who said it. Yeah, Sonia said about the agenda. I'm sorry, but the facts are the facts. The Democratic Party, their agenda is filling their pockets and filling other people's pockets. Case in point, you don't believe me? Why is all the money going overseas while we are struggling here? I'm sorry, but I thought you were the U.S. government, not the world government. You're not in control of NATO. Help us first. And what I really liked about Trump as a whole is he's more, let's worry about our home first before we start worrying about everybody else. Like, what I love about it is it's just like at your house. Are you going to go clean your neighbor's house before you clean your own house? No. I'm not going to go mow my neighbor's yard before I mow my own. I'm not doing that, especially not with the price of gas anymore.
No shit.
I take care of my family. I take care of my stuff first, and then I worry about everybody else. And that's what we need right now. That's what the American people need. That's what we want. And the problem is these people at Fox, MSNBC, CNN, all the news outlets, they don't care. They say they're for us. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. If you were, you'd be talking to Billy Joe down the street with one tooth. finding out what's his struggle, what's he going through. Talk to the people at the convenience store, at these gas stations, McDonald's, all these other places, Walmart. Go talk to the employees. What would make your life so much better? Start talking to the American people. You want to start fixing shit. Don't start talking to other countries about how we're going to fix our country. People who don't even live here.
Yeah. Well, okay, so this is kind of my forte here, but I'm going to start throwing some numbers out. And I know I'm going to apologize to you if you lose followers, Matt. And for those of you who have followed me and decide to walk away from me on this, hey, it's America. You can do whatever you want.
It's my show.
Yeah, at least wait till the end of the statistic that I'm about to tell you before you make a decision, because this is a reality check that nobody wants to talk about. Starting off, one of the biggest proponents for the institutional racism in America is the racial disparity in American prison. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people can sit there and say, well, over 60% of the violent crimes are committed by 13% of the population, which is referring to the African American community. Now, it is true that the black on black crime is a travesty on so many levels.
Yeah.
Now, this is where the statistics start to kind of shoot down the institutional racism. 32% of prisoners in America, we're talking all over America. They may vary from city to city, but overall, 32% of the prisons in America are populated by African American. 31% is Caucasian, they're white. That's the next biggest demographic in the prison population. Then you start going down to mixed races, or you start going down to smaller ethnic groups, such as Native American, Latinos, Asians, things like that. Asians take up 1% of the population. So if institutional racism is a thing, then the system is racist against black and white and favors the Asian.
Yep. Which
completely obliterate the Democrat narrative of institutional racism. The other problem with racism is if you look at every Democrat-controlled district, they have the highest crime rate, they have the lowest graduation rate, they have the highest dropout rate, they have the lowest property value, they have the highest number of liquor stores per capita in these low-income neighborhoods. And when they make these budget cuts to the education system, which is public schools, and that's just how it works, the first schools that get hit and hit the hardest are the schools that are in low-income neighborhoods, which sadly is predominantly African American. So, if there is institutional racism, just by those numbers alone, it's not on the Republican side. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist on the Republican side, but your biggest problem with institutional racism is not Republican.
And folks, let me if you're unsure of what Shadow's talking about, let me just make it put it in layman's terms. They are being set up for failure.
Mm-hmm.
It's what's happening. They are trying to. Here's the thing: would crime as a whole cease to exist if these lower income areas got the money that they deserve to keep the schools open, to do everything else? Would it disappear? No, absolutely not.
Right.
Not 100%, but a good chunk of it would go down. See, a lot of times, a lot of these people and these kids, and I've seen a lot of documentaries on it. I've seen it in the news, and I've known people that have gone through this. The reason why they are in these gangs and they are in and out of the system as much as they are is because they're trying to survive.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what else to do. If you really want to make an impact, give the people what they need, not what they want, what they need.
Right.
There are some people who do need some kind of funding and stuff like that, like the stimulus.
Mm-hmm.
The stimulus packages, when they first came out with COVID, it was great. It was nice. I got some. You've probably gotten some. Others watching, you probably got some. It was nice. It was nice to feel like the government was giving us something back until they took it out on our taxes again, which I got. They said exactly it wouldn't affect our taxes. Bullshit. Yeah. But Do some of that in these lower income areas and watch the change. It may not be immediate, but slowly it will get better. It will start to get a little better. And, you know, that just really irritates the hell out of me, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. If you take a public office, like you said, you should be for us. You should be for the people. You should be for these lower income communities. Take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know a couple of people who have kids just because they know the government will pay for it. Put a stop to that.
Yeah.
Not saying castrate people, but take that away as an option. Get them a job. Get them. Here's an idea. You find a single mom, right? A single mom with 4 kids. That's a tough situation for anybody, right? And all under the age of, let's say, 12. We'll say mom spread it. Never mind, I'm not going to say it like that. Mom waited a little bit. I was going to say spread it out, but a single mom of 4. One of the biggest things that they would have a problem with is childcare. They wouldn't be able to have childcare and go to work. Why not provide that for them? If you meet the qualifications, the state should pay, or the community should pay for those kids to go to a daycare. So mom can have a day job.
Mm-hmm.
And mom can provide. Give her some help. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of shit that we need to start having. And this whole setting us up for success just to earn a couple extra bucks is disgusting. You know, I've said this, I don't have any on me, but I said this to the Wicked Queen. I've said this to others too about relationships. One of the biggest things in relationships, and I'm sure you can agree with the Shadow, one of the biggest things that people fight about in a relationship is money.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you right now, money is a fucking piece of paper. I love the Wicked Queen more than I do a piece of paper. So I'm not going to let that control whether we have it or don't have it. I'm not going to let that control our relationship. It still stresses me out. It still is a factor. But from what these parties, Democrat and Republican, because it does happen on the Republican side too,
mm-hmm.
They're saying a piece of fucking paper is more important than the American people. Get out. You honestly, if that's the case, to me, you should be arrested. That's treason.
Right. Well, okay, so here's the thing about that most people don't really know about money. 2 things, actually. All that paper money that some of us have in our pocket right now, the paper in and of itself has absolutely zero value. All it is a promissory note that your wages, that what they owe you in gold for your wages, is held for you or will be paid out to you. And we exchange these promissory notes. We're basically just exchanging IOU, more or less. So when people fight over money, they're fighting over debt, which is insane. You're fighting over something that the government owes you. The other thing is, when it comes to the gold, the government doesn't have a whole lot of say in it.
No.
Because that is controlled by the
the thing in the place.
Well, it's anyway, it's made up with like J.P. Morgan, Rothschild, Rockefeller. They're the ones that set up the gold standard. They're the ones that set up, the banking system, and they're not a government organization.
No.
So now you have 2 factors to the problem with the money. So when you hear Biden say the economy is better than it's ever been, yeah, for them, because we're the ones that are paying more. And I'm going to kind of throw in the whole minimum wage thing going up to $15 or $20, depending on which state you're in. I don't care what you think about minimum wage being raised up, because that is not going to fix the problem.
Nope.
The problem is the cost of living has been out of control since the 90s.
Yep.
And until you get a grip on the cost of living, you can jack up to $100 an hour. Everything else is going to keep going up and up and up so that you never actually get out of debt. Your debt just stays the same. So the economy is great for them, not for us.
Absolutely. Well, it's like I said before, when we were growing up, we were taught you must get a $40,000 a year job, and you can retire comfortable. That was the goal.
Yep. Now, a single family could have survived on a single income.
Yep.
Provide education, have a home. Yep. And have a vehicle.
Not an apartment, people. Not renting. A house.
A home. Yeah. That was on a $40,000 a year income back then.
Yep.
Now $40,000 a year, you got a studio apartment, and you're
maybe.
Yeah, and you're looking for financial assistance from accounting.
Yeah.
You are still below the poverty line.
Well, it's just like somebody just said it in chat. JC said it. Just like with gas, if we were to utilize our own oil from the Alaskan pipeline in Texas, from all over the U.S., gas, and it's, by the way, folks, this is an actual statistic. This is legit. Gas would be around $1 a gallon. $1. Think about that. Right now, it's about $3.70 here. So you're talking
we're just over $3 in Minnesota.
So you're talking in my area a $2.70 drop. I could the place I work, Sheets, we offer like 25 cents and 50 and stuff like that off of gas for like rewards points, but I can't even think about that.
Yeah.
I remember growing up and putting $10 in my Neon, and that would last me all week. I put $10 in on 2 days, maybe. And this car is better on gas.
Right. Well, even me, before my wife got her Jeep, we still have it. It's one of the best vehicles I've ever owned. But we have a 2000 Chevy Suburban, full size with the removable third row seating, everything. This is a freaking land barge. When Trump was president, we could afford to drive that thing all across Minnesota.
Yeah.
Now, thank God we have that Jeep, because that Jeep literally cut our gas bill by half compared to the Suburban. We can't do as much as we did with the Suburban as we would like to in the Jeep, but so
let's see. Sonia's asking. I'm sorry, I'm a little behind, everybody. This is just what we do. Interesting, but do you think single females should stop having children when they are not in a stable relationship? See, to me, that's up to the person. Here's the thing. If let me just say this, and I know this was a hot button during the debate too on abortion and stuff like that. Here's my thought. If you're willingly doing it and you can't afford, the consequences. That's one of those fuck around literally and find outs.
Yeah.
Now if there's extenuating circumstances like unwanted, we'll just put it nicely, because I'll push some buttons. I won't go that far. But if somebody unwillingly, here's the thing. There's a thing called adoption, and it's a great thing to do. Do you know how I know? Because I am adopted. And I turned out, but.
Yeah, well, I blame California for that.
Yeah. But no, to me, if you want to be treated as an adult, act like it.
Mm-hmm.
If you are willingly going out and sleeping with everybody in the phone book just to have kids, get a puppy, get cats.
Yeah. Right.
But I mean, if they're doing that, this is where the checks and balances need to come in with the local governments. If people are manipulating the system, cut them off. Let them figure it out.
Right. See, I'm not opposed to taking somebody's rights away when it comes to the issue of abortion. I myself am pro-life. I mean, I believe that, no matter what the situation may be, the life that comes out may be the one person that could change everything for everybody.
It could be the Antichrist.
Either way, but we're never going to know. you know.
Oh wait, no, Trump's already here. Trump's already
yeah.
here. Sorry.
Well, yeah, but when Roe v. Wade was first overturned, and I started seeing all these commercials about we need to protect our women's rights, we need to respect their rights, we need to respect our women. All I could think of it, where was that respect when you were getting it on with them? You couldn't put on a condom. Put on a fucking condom so that she doesn't have to make that choice later on.
See, to me, even childbirth to me is getting too political. It really is. Here's the thing. If somebody willingly is having children over and over and over and over and over, just for the government to pay for them, there needs to be consequences.
Absolutely.
Just like if you drink too much alcohol, there's consequences. I know there's a huge difference, folks, but bear with me. I'm not saying abortion should be stopped completely, because there are some females who, like, you can have the accidental pregnancies, condom break, whatever happens. In the right circumstance, the female could not carry the baby to term because of physical ailments. The body cannot handle it. It would kill the mother. Right? Then that, absolutely. If it's a life and death circumstance, and if both parents or mom is in complete understanding on what's going on, and she makes that choice, they're absolutely allowed to make that choice. Somebody who just has a fun weekend down in Cancun and comes back pregnant, wrong. That's live with your. That's your result. That's your consequence. Right. You had a responsibility. You fucked up, literally, and now you have to deal with that consequence. And even if you don't want to, again, there's adoption. I hear about all these debates on the abortion and this and that. Where's adoption been?
Yeah, and here's the biggest problem I have with the whole abortion movement. Abortion is supposed to be okay. I got to backtrack. The beginning of the Planned Parenthood and abortion is pretty messed up to begin with. And for those of you who know history, Planned Parenthood was started up by Margaret Sanger. Yep. Now, Margaret Sanger is documented at a KKK rally stating that Planned Parenthood would be a great way to cull the population. I'm not going to use the word that she used, or cull the population of the African American population. She is quoted saying this, and this is the same woman that Hillary Clinton said she idolizes. Yeah. So anyway, now moving forward, today the idea is that Planned Parenthood is supposed to help prevent, bad situations. It's supposed to help improve the quality of life for some people. It's supposed to help save lives. That's the mantra they go by. If that is the case, then why is it thrown out so casually that it has become more of a free pass to escape the consequences of irresponsible sexual behavior?
Yep. Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like if you get someone that the female goes down to Cancun or goes to spring break, gets knocked up because she was like field goaling it. Yeah. That's on her. Mm-hmm. That is completely on her. If it happened unwittingly, if she can carry to term, it's called adoption. That's still an option, folks. Now, to me, I feel like abortion should be the absolute last worst case scenario.
Right.
Absolute worst case. Like these Planned Parenthood and other stuff like this, it should be like you go to any other medical procedure. Like if for example, you sprain your finger, are they going to amputate? No. They're going to put it in a splint and they're going to do the corrective action. Yeah. Or even my gallbladder. My gallbladder was infected and inflamed really damn bad. Shadow knows this. He knows all about what happened. They didn't do it right away. They wanted to put me on meds. They wanted me to do different things first. They wanted to try different avenues first. And then when it got to the point where, hey, you can't wait anymore, they're like, yeah, come here. We want to talk to you. Yeah.
Yep.
But That's
take a sip of this.
pretty much. You see the pretty stars? Where?
Yeah.
I'm Joe Biden. I approve this message. Anyway, but no, it's like that's the steps. There should be steps to take, not just hey, I fucked up. I'm going to go ahead and just no. Deal with the consequences. That's just what I'm saying.
Right.
And I know we're getting really far away from the original topic, but that's what we do. And actually, folks, this is literally how we are behind the scenes. This is no different. This is not a show we are putting on. This is exactly how we are. So, yay. But I just, to me, there are other avenues. There are other avenues that we should take. And I think it's high time that somebody, I don't care who
and it's not going to be me.
No, it's not him. Let's go, Brandon. But by the way, I still can't believe he thought that was a real fucking person. I want to meet this Brandon kid. The fuck are you talking? Sit down, Joe.
Yeah, or whatever you're on, I'll take 2 of them.
I'll take 12. I'll tell you what, God bless him. Robin Williams, he was right. We should listen to Robin Williams. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. Robin Williams live on Broadway. Look it up.
He did about Sleepy Joe.
Sit down, Joe. but yeah. Welcome, Sonia. But oh wait, hold on. Here we go. I don't agree that the parents have to take raise their grandkids.
Yeah, basically people who have kids and then they dump them off at their parents' house. Absolutely. That's another problem.
Which I could personally speak on that, which is one of the reasons why I'm not with my daughter's mom. Which, by the way, for the record, folks, the Wicked Queen is not my daughter's biological mother. But she's definitely a better one. We both upgraded on that. But what we really need is we need somebody to come into office. I don't care whether you're a Democrat, Republican, whatever, roll up their sleeves and say, you, fuck you, you, fuck you, you, fuck you. Come here. We're gonna redo everything. We're gonna take care of the American people first. We're gonna make sure all of the Americans have what they need, have the economy they need, have the jobs they need. We're gonna fix our issues first, and then we'll worry about everybody else.
And with that whole categorization of American, that's white, black, Asian, whoever it is, whether you are a naturally born American or a naturalized citizen.
Legal citizen.
Yeah. You are a part of that group and who should be taken care of first.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll run. I'm running for president. Here's my foreign policy. Fuck off. I got shit to deal with at home first.
I'll be your vice president. I was the vice president for Joe Biden.
You know what? I'm actually waiting for him to say he was the vice president for Kamala Harris. He almost did it. He almost did it.
Well, okay, so I don't know how many people remember this, but there was a conversation that took place not too long ago, and it happened more than once. And it blows me away that nobody really picked up on this, but we've all heard the rumors. We've all had our speculation. But how many people out there remember that whenever Barack Obama got on the microphone and he would bring up his wife, and every time he did that, it would always be something that sounded kind of like,
so yeah, me and Michael, I mean Michelle.
I'm sorry, Michael?
That's her stage name.
Even Joan Rivers walked one when she was walking into the studio. Yeah, we all know Michelle is really trans.
You know, I kind of have my suspicions, but what
think about it, she got bigger balls than he does.
Well, I mean, Hillary.
Yeah, Hillary's just psycho. I mean, anytime somebody can successfully pull off a medical change where a gunshot wound to the back of the head is considered natural causes.
Well, I feel bad for Bill because he's got to have the worst luck, absolute worst luck. He finds the only Jewish girl that doesn't know how to take out a stain and can't keep her mouth shut in more ways than one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, go on Tinder. I don't know, but
yeah, but would you want to have an after sex talk with Hillary? I sure as hell wouldn't.
I would be running down Pennsylvania Avenue giggling. That's probably what I would be doing. Of course, if I was married to Hillary, I'd probably be doing something else.
Yeah. Or someone else.
Yeah, I would. Let's just say I would get the answers. I would get the answer. I was trying to see how I wanted to say this. I would definitely know what happens after death very quickly. I'm just gonna, if I woke up next to Hillary, two things are gonna happen. I'm either gonna go to the other side and say, "See you there, bitches," or I'm finding her purse and I'm running away. Yeah. But no.
Yeah, pulling Earl Hickey. Take her leg with you.
Although I would have loved to see on that day just her kick Bill out of the White House and just throwing his shit out the window.
Oh, that would have been so awesome.
You know? And you just see Monica like running through the yard. That'd be cool. Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Yeah, but, you know, shit flying out the window. I hope you and that whore are happy.
Hillary, baby. I'll play my sax. But no, what the problem is the biggest.
I wasn't the one that inhaled. She was.
Literally. She forgot to swallow. But the biggest problem anymore with state level all the way up is, like we said, the agenda. You know, everybody wants to fill everybody's pockets, and that's one thing I love about Trump is he doesn't fucking care on whose pockets he's filling unless it's ours.
Yeah.
Because even when COVID first started, whose administration was that under?
Yep.
Who started the stimulus? And I'm telling you right now, ever since Brandon took office, I see and hear about, and I'm sure you have too, everybody, you go on Facebook, you hear about all these stimuluses that people are getting. The fuck are they? I haven't gotten any. I haven't gotten any. Could I use it? Yeah.
Yep.
So where are these? Or these government grants? You keep hearing about these grants. You keep hearing about, you know, all this tax relief and debt relief and this and that. You hear it all the time. But there's zero follow through. Yeah. I told Mackenzie, we're close. We might be neighbors, literally, with Mr. We get an apartment in his building. Below him, of course, so I can sit there and just, Brian, are you awake? You know,
No. Get one above him, because then that way, you know, when you and Wicca Queen get the Wicca going.
She's not loud and I cry. He won't know what's going on.
Oh, that's even better. Oh, you should not have said that.
Oh, come on. You should know me better than that. But no, I don't get me wrong, folks. Like I said, I'm a veteran. I love my country. I really, really, really do. I just hate who's fucking running it. And it's not just Joe. It's the whole Democratic Party. It's the Republican Party. It's everybody who cares about themselves. Honestly, I want to hear a candidate stand in front of that microphone, in front of CNN, NBC, whoever the fuck's hosting, and say, do you want to know about my foreign policy? Fuck them.
Yeah.
I don't have a foreign policy. My policy is for them to go away. Let me deal with us here first. Let's deal with our problems first. Oh, this country's at war with the other one? They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Let them figure it out on their own. Why do we have to be? It's like Team America, World Police. Actually, like literally, that is what our country is right now. Team America, World Police. Puppets and all. You know what? Somebody, whoever's good, I know you're really good at it, Chef. I want a GIF or a meme or whatever of Joe Biden and Team America, World Police. I want that. I want that to be a thing. chasing an ice cream truck.
I could use a break, so some time in Facebook jail would be nice.
Which, by the way, speaking of Team America, one of the guys I work with brought it up the other night at work. He was talking about all these underrated movies. Team America came up in conversation. I heard this.
Durka.
Damn right. So we have microphones like right here, like like that. We have headsets. So I heard him talking about it, and I just went, "Can't set me up. You just can't set me up for this." And I'm still fairly new here, so they haven't learned me yet. So I said, "Does anybody need anything from me before I go outside?" They're like, "No, we're good." And I was like, "Okay, by the way, Durka, Jihad, Muhammad Jihad." I heard nothing but laughing, and I look up. Who's in front of me? I was like, talking about a movie. Oh, is it Team America? Yes, Team America. Yeah, you remember that movie? Oh, it's a good movie. I love that movie. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Boom. Walked away.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've used that Durka many times myself, and I thought, where the fuck you get that Durka from? You get it from Durkistan?
Jihad, Muhammad Jihad.
Yeah.
Wow, he's fucking good.
But when it comes to the whole thing with both sides, it kind of brings up the issue of the recent 34 felony counts against Trump. And what gets me about all of that is nobody is aware of the fact that Trump is not the only one who has done that. And the only way they were able to get him was not because of what he did, but because of how he labeled that money when it came down to taxes.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Nothing else. And they managed to figure out a way to make it into 34 felonies. Now, I created a shirt design because of something that I saw. And it's simple. I just spent $100 for a full tank of gas and $350 for 4 weeks for a week of food. Do you really think I care about 34 felonies or your feeling?
Mm-hmm. I think one of my favorite, most recent ones is when he got acquitted. There was a shirt made up that said "Arrest this" with Trump flipping off the camera or whatever. That was great. This might be a thing. Sonia, I know you're new here, but I'm going to tell you right now, the worst thing you can do on this show is give me ideas. Because a lot of things happen when I get ideas. Something really good, really bad, but everybody cringes.
I have never seen anything good come out of your idea. Because usually when you say I have an idea, it's followed by fuck.
Mistakes were made. I need to make that into merch. Mistakes were made.
Yeah.
And I sure as hell hope so, JC. I really do. I really hope that people are watching and listening. That's why it's important to share these out. Not just because it's fun, don't get me wrong, but I hope. I know this little show is not going to get on CNN or Fox News, and if it does, I'm going to disappear because I'll probably be fired. But it's, guess what? It's what they need to fucking hear. The truth hurts. Deal with it. Grow up. The fact is I'm tired of seeing all of our money and our money as a collective whole go all over the fucking world, but not here. I know for a fact shipping is a bitch to go overseas.
Yeah.
It's a lot cheaper for here in the US. US shipping is a lot cheaper than going overseas. Just saying.
Yeah, I hope they're here. I will say that if they are listening, the only time I'm going to worry about it.
Yeah, if I start seeing a laser show in the yard and there's nobody around, no. Mm-mm. You will see me go live and go, bye guys.
Yeah.
But so I figured this was going to happen, but we are over the 2-hour mark. I knew this was going to happen. I love it. But speaking of the Wick Queen, I do have to get up to her. We gotta have our dinner. I haven't eaten, and I haven't slept in over 24 hours.
Come on, man. I've sniffed kids longer than this.
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, like I said, when I told you about this, I knew I was going to be in a lot of trouble.
No, we are going to be in a lot of trouble. But I want to thank everybody for joining tonight. I know there was a lot of people that were in and out throughout the whole course of the evening. That's fine. I appreciate you guys stopping in. Sonia, I want to welcome you to this chaos. It's not always like this. This is kind of, you joined at a good show. It's a good show. At least it's entertaining, if anything. But
I question the good part, but entertaining, yes.
Yeah. When Shadow and I get together, shit doesn't just hit the fan; it blows it the fuck up.
Yeah. And usually we're the only ones holding the umbrella because we know what's happening.
Well, I wouldn't say we know what's happening, but we've got a pretty good idea.
Look, there is a fine line between knowing and causing it and not knowing.
And also whether or not this will be here. This video will be still up on all the social media platforms by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fact check this. No. But I want to thank you, brother, for agreeing to do this. I love it. It was great hanging out with you again. And we definitely need to do some more gaming. We need to get back on the gaming thing again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. You know what? Maybe we should do old school. Go fire up some Faz.
I'm down for it. I still got it.
See if we can get Laggy involved with it too.
Yeah. I do know that they made some update to it.
Yeah, I know.
Some of the equipment's not the same, but it
doesn't have to be because I just run around causing bad ideas and getting people killed.
Looking for Ouija boards or, whatever. Although I also miss when you walk into a house and you're like, man, I hope it's not one that's going to want to start some shit right away. And all of a sudden you hear, where the fuck are you at, you limp dick Sally? And then we're like, oh, fucking Raymond.
I hope it's not violent. Fuck you, bitch. Where the fuck are you at?
There's been a few times Raymond got in there flying off at the mouth and the damn thing starts hunting right away.
I still find it funny the one time. I think we had it on Nightmare just to see what would happen. Raymond's like, I really hope it's not bad. He's talking shit the entire way up the front door. And it was the cabin. The cabin that everybody died on the cabin. And I was right behind him, and he's sitting there talking shit and he gets to the door, crosses the threshold, and boom, right in front of my face. And I just looked at you, so I was like, yeah, we're gone. He's dead.
Yeah, then it's usually, well, fuck, that didn't go that well. I'm dead.
I think, and one of my favorites is stirring shit up. And as I'm stirring shit up, running out of the house, and just as I exit the building, hunt starts. It's like, But anyway, brother, I do appreciate you taking the time with me. This has been a lot of fun. I enjoyed this, and it's a good little session. So, and again, thank you all for joining us. And I want to thank, of course, like we said before, Health Empowers You, our sponsors. Guys, if you haven't heard of Health Empowers You, go to healthempowersyou.net and just take a look. Just take a look, see what they got. Like I said earlier, I have the smoothie recipes. Definitely worth it. And use the code PC05 or TWS05, all caps, and get your discount, guys. And it's not for us, it's for you. It's for you to get your discount, save a little bit of money. Also, I want to reiterate the charity event that we've got going on. You can go to Buy Me a Coffee down in the description. You can donate to myself, which will go to, it's called Sheets for Kids. It's the company I work for. We are trying to help our communities, exactly kind of what we were talking about tonight, just to help underprivileged families out. And it's a big charity event. This is a short version. It's a big charity event. Walmart is involved with it as well. If you have a Sheets near you, just go and donate. You can do it for the whole month of July. Just please help the community out. If you don't have a Sheets, go to Buy Me a Coffee. You can donate there. Or if you want a little more bang for your buck, let me see if I still have it. There you go. go to this address right here, paraconsultantstore.com. That is my merch store. All proceeds for the month of July will be going towards Sheets for Kids. Find yourself some merch. I got some new ones that just dropped today, and Shadow will tell you they're good. They're good. They're actually like, it's not like the weird crap. It's actually decent. I got some good stuff. I got bored.
Just a little bit.
I had some ideas. These were good ones. But head over to paraconsultantstore.com. There are some discount codes. I am offering 15% off for this month. 15% off on all the discount codes. As soon as you go, it'll be on the top screen. Use it. Use the discount codes. Get your 15% off. And again, all proceeds will go to Sheets for Kids. Whether buy me a coffee or paraconsultantstore.com, doesn't matter. It is going for Sheets for Kids. At the end of the month, we will tally everything up and we will see how much we got. And one last thing before we go, the GoFundMe. I am putting the post again in the chat. Please go check it out. Please, even $1 or $2 is perfectly fine. Help our brother out and his family, AJ Capasso. Bring it up one more time. There's his GoFundMe page, already at almost $1,700. That's great, guys. Let's keep this going. It doesn't have to be the 100 or the 50. Anything you can do will help out. And one thing that you can also do is share the post out, share this out, share this video out. Anything you can do, anything you do will help all the communities. So
you beat the prize if you had 1,000 people and each one donated $5. That's $5,000 right there.
Yep.
You may not seem like it's much coming out of your pocket, but when people come together, those numbers will add up.
Yeah, or even split it. If you don't know which one to decide to, $250 at one, $250 at the other. Share it out. That'll add up. That's $2,500 for 1,000 people. You know, and you may not have 1,000 people on your Facebook or your YouTube, whatever, but you know what? There's power in numbers. If even one person shares it, somebody may see it. And it's not for me. It's not for Shadow. It's for guys like AJ and his family. It's for these kids. You know, they're the ones who deserve it. And they're the ones who, I mean, I know we had some fun and we were joking, but in all seriousness, we do care about our communities. We do care about our families. And this is one way that we want to help out. And then I know our other Parapost family members as well want to be a part of that, is to help out. So, but anyway, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. So thank you so much for joining. I hope to see you guys next time. I'm off this weekend, so there might be some gaming this weekend. I don't know if Shadow's going to join us, but I don't know. I've been having fun with Planet Crafter.
If it's Faz, I'm always down.
It might be. So, but anyway, folks, thank you again so much. So I think there's only one more thing left for me to say. Y'all have yourselves a great rest of your night. Have fun. Stay safe. And as always, guys, happy hauntings.